Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today I have a special review and giveaway for you guys of this guy right here. This is none other than the Real Steel Luna Boost. Now, before I go any further in this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, and I'd also like to send out a huge thank you to everyone subscribed. Recently, I hit a really nice number for this channel. I wouldn't call it a milestone, but every time I hit a new 1,000, it means a lot to me. I hit 4,000 subscribers recently, and every time I look at my subscriber count, I'm pretty blown away by it. I really appreciate everyone's support, everyone following along. I have a lot of big things planned, and I'm going to continue to bring you guys some pretty good content. So thank you all so much for following along. If you are not following along, consider doing me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, with all that said, let's get right into this review. Let's go over some specifications on this knife. We have an overall length of 6.625 inches, a blade length of 2.75 inches, a cutting edge coming in at 2.625 inches, a blade width of 0.75 inches with a blade thickness of 0.09 inches, which makes for a pretty slicey little blade. And we have N690 blade steel with a drop point style blade with a flat grind, and a handle length coming in at 3.75 inches with a handle thickness at 0.34 inches, as well as handle width coming in at 0.875 inches. Handle material on this guy is blackened titanium. User is tip up right hand only. A total weight of 2.45 ounces and a price of $130. Now, I also want to send a huge thank you out to Real Steel. Someone from Real Steel saw my review, or not my review, my unboxing of my other Luna Boost that I purchased for my own collection. That's kind of the limited edition with the fat carbon scale. I thought it was just freaking amazing, so I had to pick it up. He saw it and said, "Hey, saw you got one of the limited versions. Would you like to do an actual review of one of the the more higher produced, the regular version of the Luna Boost?" And I thought, well, I originally wasn't going to, because other reviewers that I already hold in pretty high esteem had already done reviews, and I thought, what's the point in me doing it? But I can't pass up the opportunity to get a good knife that they gave to me and pass along to you guys in a giveaway. So I thought it was a good opportunity. I hopped on it, and here we are now. So thank you, Real Steel, for that. I do appreciate your generosity, and I think all the viewers do as well. So with that being said, of course, this is provided by the manufacturer. I got to say that. But good for you guys. I mean, they're not going to send a dud along to me, so you can rest assured you're getting a pretty good knife for this giveaway. Now here, let's do some size comparisons real quick before we start talking about this guy. Let's go to the Civivi Elementum as well as the Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. So as you can see here, as far as overall length, they're pretty similar, a little shorter than these two, as you can see, but a little more comparable to the Civivi Elementum. And I got one more quick group of size comparisons that I think will fit a little better with the overall attempt of giving you guys an idea of just what this knife is like. We have the Civivi McKenna, as well as the ProTech Newport. So here we go with that. And as you can see, the Newport is a little longer, but setting this aside for a second and comparing it to the McKenna is very, very similar. Obviously, a little difference in the shape of the handle here, but holding these two in hand, I would probably say out of all the knives in my collection, this is probably the closest as far as how I think it feels. Once the blade is opened and you're just holding it in your hand, I think the McKenna is a pretty good example. But now let's get to talking about just this Luna Boost right here, because this blade is a pretty darn nice blade if you want a slicer. That is the one word I would use to describe this blade, and that is slicey. And that is the result of a behind the edge reading of 14 thousandths combined with the stock coming in at 9/100ths of an inch. Very, very, very slicey blade. And with that N690 steel, it's going to take a really good edge, and it's going to hold it pretty well. I mean, N690 isn't known for extremely long edge retention, but it will take a good edge. So pretty nice combination here on this blade. I also like the overall design of the blade. It's very sleek, very clean design with a very attractive fuller, and that fuller doubles as a very functional rail for this adjustable thumb stud, which is a very nice add-on because it gives you a lot of options. This is a great knife that you can take this thumb stud off and use it as a slip joint, and you could even take this the pocket clip off and use it as a pure slip joint, or you can use it as a slip joint with just in your pocket clipped like a regular pocket knife. But I really like the thumb stud. I have no reason to take it off. I'm going to leave it on. And you also have excellent jimping on the top and bottom of this blade here. And it gives you a really good area, especially with this, again, this thumb stud here. Put your thumb right behind it, got your index finger here, and it really does, it grips your hand really well. So you have a very secure grip for any type of cutting, because you're already choked up all the way to the blade. So it's not really a finger choil, but this knife is very good for any type of detailed cuts, and also a very, very sleek little carry. And again, this thumb stud, you can move the thumb stud. I like it all the way up here because it just makes that's best for my hand right there. I think it works very well in this position. This is what I'll leave it in. Whoever wins it, obviously, you can move it wherever you like or take it off. But yeah, either way, it works, and it works very well. Moving on to the handle and ergos. For me, the ergos on this guy are just decent. I think someone with smaller hands would probably really like it, and I still like it. When I call ergos on a knife decent, it means they're good. When I say decent, I guess I wish it was just a little bigger for me personally. But again, everyone has different sized hands. So I think majority of people would find this a very comfortable knife to have in hand. I also really, really, really like the bronze accents. And I like how it's on the thumb stud too. It's really everywhere. This is black and bronze, and the only thing that's not black or bronze is the edge of the knife and a little printing here, a little blade branding, which is also very nice. Very minimal blade branding. That cool Poltergeist logo. But very, very nice. Nice shade of bronze. They kept it kind of more of a goldish bronze, as to where sometimes bronze can, if you bronze it too long, it can get dark and almost get like a purplish hue to it. I'm really glad they didn't do that. Did a very good job of bronzing these, and it just looks very, very nice overall. And I also like the distressed finish they put on this. Especially when you're talking black titanium, that distressed finish gives you just really nice little subtle accents all along the knife. And I think that worked out extremely well. And the blade, they tried doing the distressed look as well, and I think it looks okay. I'm, disclaimer here, I'm never a huge fan of a coated blade. I would always go with stonewashed or satin over a coated blade any day of the week. But given the total outfit of the knife, I think it looks pretty good. I do. On the other side here, you got a little distressing up towards the top and sides. I think that may have been just a little miss on the coating there. But overall, it's still... any imperfections on the blade coating, which I do think was planned, match really well with the distressed on the titanium. So you have, distressed blade, distressed handle. It goes pretty well. Overall, I think they get the point across, and it looks good. Especially, this knife is most likely going to be a user because it's a great little carry, and it's a real slicey blade, so you're going to distress it even more. So why not have it a little broken in, right? I like the way they went with it. Let's see here. The pocket clip here. So this pocket clip, for me, I have no issue with it. But I do want to throw out there, if you have a little softer hands at the top, you may feel this area right here is a bit of a hot spot. I wish they would have chamfered that a little better. It's not sharp by any means, but you definitely feel it. And it could be a slightly aggressive point. I don't know. Like I said, for me, it don't bother me. Some people, I think it would. But overall, the pocket clip works extremely well. Slides right in and out of the pocket. I like how they milled it and kind of inset it in here to where the top of the clip right here, right under the screw, kind of matches up with the sides of the handle. So I think they did a really good job of that. Granted, that makes it not reversible. So, sorry lefties, But it is also still an ambidextrous knife because of this thumb stud. So you can just kind of, carry it. If you are a lefty, you can carry it in your pocket a little backwards, pull it out, and then you can still, well, if you're left-handed, you could still probably use this to open it. You have a little more access to the thumb stud up here, but really, as you can see, it's really not that bad. I'm willing to bet a lefty could use this. You just have to be very aware of that lock bar pressure and not put too much on while you're trying to play the blade, because I have noticed that can be an issue sometimes, but once you get used to it, it's not very hard. It's a very nice slow roll. And moving into the action, which is kind of it's a point to really discuss here, because some people just like really fidgety knives. Everyone knows that I do, but I also have been coming down with the case of Chris Reeve fever, and they aren't the fidgetiest knives either. So when it comes to this, I do like it. I like the slow rolling action. It's a pretty smooth slow rolling action, not gritty. It's just a matter of getting that feeling down and coming to appreciate it, because so many knives that are flippers and thumb studs and front flippers have crazy, snappy, fun action. And this is just a different type of beast. But again, if you like the slow rolling action, I think you're going to like this. CRK has definitely opened my eyes to the world of slow rolling action in a knife, and I like this. I like the sound it gives you. You have the nice little double click when you're deploying it. So when you bring it out, you're going to pass the detent ball, and then you're going to lock the blade, just like that. So when you do it in one fluid motion, you have kind of just a nice click, nice little double click. Sounds good. I mean, it sounds like sounds like a pretty good quality knife. The milling and the details everywhere in the knife, I think, speaks for itself and speak pretty well. So I've never really had a big issue with any Real Steel knives. I've owned, I think, 6 of them now, and never really had anything worth complaining about. So I am somewhat of a fan of Real Steel. Again, I was really glad they were able to send this along so I could share it with you guys. But overall, I'm pretty happy about this. The action here, and I also meant to point this out when it comes to the action, because, with the slow rolling knife, there's not a lot of things to really talk about, obviously, with the action, because some of the aspects of action go away. But one thing that is one of my favorite things about this knife, I'm going to go back to this thumb stud, because, again, it adds a nice little touch, and it works great to deploy the blade, but then it also works really, really well when you want to close the knife, because when you go to close it, having that thumb stud there gives you something to put your fingertip on, and it helps you close the blade without getting having to readjust your hand. So you go to close it, and your index finger just pushes against that, and it pushes it in really easily, as to where if this wasn't here and you would go to close it, I mean, obviously you would go like, it would slide down. It's placed in such a good spot to where it's hard to give you an example of how difficult it would be to close the blade without this. But with it being there, it gives you a great point to keep your index finger at to close the blade. So I really do like that. That's one of my favorite things about this knife. Very easy to close one-handed. Granted, some countries you're supposed to, I'm not going to get into all the laws, but regardless, the way it's set up right now makes it very easy to slow roll it out, and then also make it very easy to close it with one hand. So there's a lot more functionality and usefulness to the way this is all set up than I think meets the eye with the average person. So that was worth pointing out. Overall, very solid knife. Very solid knife. I like it. I obviously I do like the fidget factor of knives, but it is also nice, this is a great knife to maybe pair with something that does have a fidget factor. If everyone's carrying 2 knives, I'm definitely one that carries 2, so I think that would go together really well. But overall, very solid offering from Real Steel. Now, to win this knife. To win this knife, all you gotta do, comment, I'm in. That's it. Nothing else, just comment, I'm in. As well as anything else you'd like to throw in the comment section. But make sure I'm in is nice and first and clear so I can easily see it. And that will enter you to win this knife. I will be drawing this knife next Friday. Today is a Saturday, so 6 days. And yeah, I don't have my other phone around me, so I don't know the exact date, but Friday. This coming Friday, I'll be drawing the winner for this guy. And we'll be sending it along to somebody else. So thank you, Real Steel, again for the for the free giveaway. I know someone's going to really enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching it. Be sure to enter, comment I'm in for your chance to win. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.